Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Saturday morning real estate marketing show with Ruthie Rocks, Ruth Allbrand, and myself, Marketing Max. Today, we have a regular guest. Before that, though, I think we are episode 67, right, Ruth?
67, yes.
67. Today, we have what looks to be going to be a constant guest with some tremendous amounts of real estate information, the real estate guy himself, Mr. Aaron Taylor. So welcome to the show this morning, Aaron. How are you today?
Thank you for having me. I feel like I'm running on stage right now and you're introducing me.
Exactly. I kind of gave you my what they call the shock jock voice this morning as an introduction.
That's beautiful. I love it. Good morning, Ruth.
All right.
Good morning, Aaron.
Ruth, take it away with the stats this month.
Okay, so let's talk about this, the comparison between last year and this year. What we've noticed is the rental market is like blowing up. I think you're a dog. Last year at the same time, we did about 7,700 rentals. This year, we're doing about 7,000 rentals. So we're a little bit behind last year, but if everybody remembers, last year was quite a tremendous year. So we're still on the sales side. Last year, year to date, we did 11,150 sales, but this year to date, we've only done 9,500. And our prices have been, but not much. We started out the year at 310 for the average price, and through this month, we're down to let's see, where are we? We are down to 303. So it's bouncing right in there. Not much of a change for the average price. And I have an interesting ranking reports on the real estate agents and their production. And I always run the top 25. And the report's pretty cool because it also tells me then the total for the overall market for that month. And the interesting thing I want to tell you is that in January, we had the iBuyer platforms in spot 1, 2, and 4. They were in 1, 3, and 5. And then in March, they were 1, 4, and 5. And in this month, they're 1, 2, and 3. So what does that mean? This month, they've done 222 deals versus in January, they did 143. And each month, when you go through January, February, March, and April, they are increasing. This month, they are probably going to hit 400 because we get busier toward the end of the month, which means they have doubled their take of our listings and sales in 3.5 months, 4 months. Wow. So, about social media and branding yourself, these guys are out there stealing market share. Whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not, it's true. And it's interesting to say this, you hear all this talk about Facebook right now and how they're taking down our democracy and taking over and influencing our elections, right? Mm-hmm. But yet we can't grasp our head around that they can sell a hamburger, a house, right? You've got to be on social media. You have to be on social media. You can't be out there pontificating that the social media is going to bring down our democracy and then think that we can't sell a house using it because 2 billion active a month are on these platforms. So I rant because I'm passionate about getting agents to start branding themselves and start doing videos and start doing Facebook ads, marketing. I always tell people, what's so difficult about targeting the senior communities in this town because they're all in separate zip codes. And unfortunately, senior communities have a lot of turnover, right? So why wouldn't you target them if you want those listings? And how you target them is giving them information over time. And over time, I have to tell you that the best marketer for real estate that I is Aaron Taylor, the real estate guy.
Right. And
Aaron, I call you as an unconscious competent because you went with your gut. You didn't go to marketing school and graduate from Harvard, right? No, you went and did all this from your gut. And you just knew the right thing to do. And you keep doing it. And, we've had many conversations about how, where you should put your dollars you still up there selling, listing a house every day but Sundays. And so I kudos to you. And I just wish doing at least half of what you've done the past, 10 years to make yourself the real estate guy that everybody knows. I've never been anywhere with you where they don't know you.
How long did it take? When did you come up with the real estate guy, Aaron?
Probably in 2010, but I came up with it. My friends and clients over the years started calling me the real estate guy, especially in my 40s. I always played basketball. I was a very active basketball player in leagues up till I was about 45. Mm-hmm. So all the young guys would go, "Hey, there's the real estate guy." And that just became my nickname, the real estate guy. So I actually didn't make it up. It was, one of those nicknames that people just
give to you. Right.
Yeah. And so then I started calling myself the real estate guy. Add a joke. "Hey, the real estate guy's up. Pass the real estate guy the ball. Come on." And then I started putting it on my email address, and then I just started running with it, and now, and then the jingle, we started that in 2010, and then it really kind of took off. But you have to, you have to own it. So when people laugh, when I call an agent about a property, I introduce myself as, "Hi, this is Aaron Taylor, the real estate guy." And sometimes they go, sometimes they laugh, but you have to own it, and I own it. Yeah. I'm the real estate guy. That's who I am, and that's Ruthie is Ruthie Rocks. It's your brand, nobody else's. The real estate guy is my brand. No one could take that from me. So I own it. Every single thing I do, when I answer the phone, when I introduce myself, "Hi, I'm Aaron Taylor, the real estate guy." So you have to own it, and that's why I think it's been so successful.
Yeah, well, you've completely integrated into the fabric of your life, and so much like your name, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I really enjoy it, and I'm a big ham too, so I love it. Like yesterday,
I was going to say you're very entertaining.
Yesterday at the ballpark, the Aviator games, I'm doing commercials on the jumbotron. So so many foul balls during the game, they'll go, "The foul ball sponsor, Aaron Taylor, the real estate guy," and then it shows my face and it goes, "Talk to Aaron Taylor, the real estate guy." So I'm walking through the club and people are going, "Hey, it's the real estate guy. Hey, real estate guy." I love it. I eat it up. And I don't have a big head about it. It's like my marketing works. So
absolutely.
I'm excited about that.
There's nothing wrong with a big head, as long as you treat people right. You know what I'm saying, Aaron?
I mean, it would suck if it didn't work. I mean, the real estate guy. Who?
Right. Well, what's crazy about your brand, though, is that it covers an industry that's so broad but so narrow at the same time, because it's just, when they say the real estate guy, they know exactly what you do. You probably sell and buy real estate for clients, right? There's no misconception of what you do. You're not a developer
anymore. Right? Call myself the real estate guy, right?
Right. No, I mean, that's great. What's crazy is that there's nobody else really branding that. I mean, this is the first time in the Vegas market that I've ever heard anybody. I'm like, "Oh, real estate guy. Wow." He actually calls him. When I first heard, I'm like, he actually calls himself that. And I started looking around. Is anybody else calling themselves that? No one's calling themselves that. I'm like, wow.
No.
What you've done is probably cornered the entire market, Aaron, and everybody else is not even. They don't even want to get close to that, because you have such a huge following now from people who recognize your brand that if anyone else even tries it, it won't work. So, I mean, kudos to you for doing it for years.
Thank you.
And Max, we have the 5 tenets of branding. Mm-hmm. We have education. Aaron educates all the time. He educates his buyers or sellers constantly, and he's always entertaining. That's just his personality, and he's exclusive. He makes people feel good about them and makes them feel important, because to him, they are. So it's a very sincere emotional connection that Aaron makes with his clients. And I've noticed that since I've met him. And then he's so engaging, because he just, I don't know, Aaron, you have a great wit. So you're very engaging. and so you cover all the tenets of branding.
Right.
And without a plan, I mean, I think you have an academic plan, right? It's just from your gut.
It's an unusual plan for sure.
Let me ask you, Aaron. One
Yeah.
of the things that I think makes you so engaging is you seem very extremely comfortable in your own skin, right? You can laugh at yourself. You can, laugh at other things. You don't take things too seriously. I listen to, a couple of your shows on the radio, and you guys have a good old time, right? I mean, how long do you think that? When do you think the internal voice changed in for you when you said, like, you know what, I'm just going to be me, and if the world wants to accept me, then because that's the hard thing about trying to brand yourself and get out there on social media, is like we're always so self-conscious about whether we're going to be accepted by other people and whether it's going to work. But you don't seem to have that hesitation, or do you? And share with us a little bit about that.
No, I think it started for me when I was 21. When I was at 21 out of school, I got several jobs. One of them was with a company called Kenny Shoes. I know Ruth remembers Kenny Shoes. Max, you might not remember Kenny.
I don't.
I do.
But it was a large family shoe store. And, well, maybe even before that, when I sold wicker and rattan at the swap meet. I don't know. I've always been myself. I've always been comfortable in my own skin. I think maybe my whole life. But in sales, people, like I said this yesterday when I listed a house, and I'm going to say it today before I go to these people's houses. I always, in my car before I walk in someone's home, I always say to myself, Aaron, you're good at what you do. You're just be yourself and help them. I say that every single time. It's like my own inner confidence builder or something, because, I know it's amazing how, like, as confident as I am and outgoing as I am, I'm pretty comfortable in my skin, but I still have the nerves and everything like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But I say that to myself before I walk in someone's home. And I remember I did that when I was younger and in sales. And I think I'm comfortable because if your intentions are always to help somebody, then you can't go wrong. You can't screw up, because if your intentions are good and you're really there to help them and you do make a mistake, everybody understands. It's very transparent. When you're trying to get over on somebody and you make a mistake, they're going to nail you to the damn cross. So I've always had kind of that way of doing things, is, helping people. And then, as like Ruth said earlier, one of those systems or steps is being knowledgeable. So I made it my goal to be very educated in this business, to know real estate, know the ins and outs. So I'm able to help people in their decision, whether it's buying or selling, investing, whatever it is. And when they'll see that too. Another saying I say is knowledge is the best close. So when agents are out there trying to learn sales skills, well, the first skill you need to learn is your job. Once you know it better than everybody else, you're a salesperson, because you know it so well, you're so comfortable, you can help people. So I learned it very early on, and it's fun being yourself. You don't have to remember who you were before.
Right. It's very relaxing, I got to say.
Yes, it is. I am who I am. I mess up sometimes. I stumble on my words. I burp in public. I mean, I do all this stuff that everybody else does, and we all go to the bathroom. So it's not like you can't be perfect at anything. It's not possible.
Right.
It doesn't happen, right?
No doubt. One of the things that the first few times that we got you on the show, Aaron, that I learned of you, and you do a really good job of cultivating relationships. And according to Ruth, you're not very active on social media, but you do a lot of live, like in-person type events, like the stuff that you do with the cruises for your top referrers and stuff like that. I mean, where did you come up with that idea to do that?
Well, I knew very early on in being a teenager, is I was very social, and I knew that you had to build relationships. Mm-hmm. And when you get things that you want from people, and they're usually good, it's easier to get that when you have a bond with somebody. It's easier because you want to help people, but at the same time, I have to make a living. Like, I'm going to come and help you sell your house, but at the same time, I'm going to charge you money to help you sell your house. I need to make a living, right?
Right.
If I have a relationship with you and a bond, and you see that I'm sincere and I'm smart and educated in what I do, you're going to feel better about the decision in paying me. So you just have to build relationships. And then something else I've always done too, I think Ruth definitely knows this about me, is I put everybody else before me. Everybody. Everybody else is more important than I am. Mm. Whether it's money, whether it's my time, whether it doesn't matter what it is, because I know, and this is going to sound really cliche, and I'm going to get emotional right now, but I'm 56 and I could be dead tomorrow. Mm. And Ruth knows with John, I mean, he's skated. He has 9 lives, this guy. And what matters between now and the time I die, and say with you, Ruth and Max, this is what matters the most, is how much we give and how much we help. It doesn't matter how much money I have in my bank account at all. I ain't taking it with me. And so you give more, you do more for people. Man, it comes from you from all over. It just does. Right, so good philosophy to try to live by. I make mistakes, but I try to do that.
No, absolutely. You actually live by the tenet that this marketer named Eben Pagan coined, which is, give $10 in value and ask for 1 in return, right? So when you do that, I mean, the value discrepancy is so big that people don't even question to do business with you or to give value back to you, because you give so much of that. And that's amazing that you were able to, kind of come up with that by yourself. And I don't know if you ever know the story. You obviously know who Jamie Foxx is. He's the Oscar-winning actor. He played Ray Charles and stuff like that. But he recently, over the last 4 or 5 years, started telling the story of how he broke into the music industry when he was an actor, and he started getting a little bit of notoriety when he was on In Living Color. What he did was he started having parties at his house and inviting up and coming musicians. And, back then when Jay-Z was a nobody and P. Diddy was just he'd bring him and throw parties at his house in LA, first at his small apartment. And then, later in his big mansions. But he cultivated those relationships by throwing these parties and providing people one of the tenets we talk about is entertainment, right? And then the engagement part of it. And then he would have a music studio in his house and say hey, why don't you rip on a track? And then that's how he met Kanye West, and that's how the whole story came about. Right. But you do that really well, Aaron. That's one of the things I'm trying to cultivate more in my life. I'm so private in my life, and I know that is probably going to be somewhat of a roadblock for me to build a brand if I don't do what you do, which is be more out in the community and then bring people to me in these types of events and where I can interact with them. So some good stuff, Aaron. Did you have what else do you have on the docket for Aaron today, Ruth? We didn't really get a chance at the beginning of the show to kind of talk about it.
Well, you know what? Can I talk about one more thing? This kind of leads into what you're saying, is especially Ruth, you were talking about the companies that buy your home. What do you call them? There's a word, there's something you call them.
The iBuyer platforms.
What are they? iBuyer platforms?
iBuyer for internet. We call them the internet.
Yeah. So what's amazing in my career as I go forward is, and I just noticed this yesterday, Ruth, you know how many people ask me to lower my commission now when I list their property? None.
Probably none.
None.
That's that. I would have said 9 out of 10.
Yeah. Well, it used to be like that, but they don't anymore. And
is it because the iBuyer platforms are charging so much? Is that?
No, it's because of value. So remember when I did the listing presentation at our event?
Yes.
When I'm done with them, after I do everything with them and give them my presentation and show so much value, they don't balk at what I charge. They just don't do it. And right. I think that would really help real estate agents out there in the field. And even with other businesses and I noticed that I've heard this word a lot in social media lately. I don't know if it's just a buzzword, but I'm hearing a lot of these people. I think even Gary Vee said it recently about showing value in what you do. If you show value, you can charge what you deserve. You can get what you want, and people will, and you'll win all the time. So I think that we'll still be in this market, a traditional real estate agent, if they just work on showing value. And value is, being knowledgeable in what you do. And then value is making sure they understand during that time that their interest is number one for you, that you're there to help them, that you'll win all the time.
Right.
So that's exactly correct. And one of the things, Aaron, that makes a great team is that once the agent is in front of the client, you teach them how to give value.
Yes.
Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. My job is to get the agents to be in front of the public so that they can get the clients. And that's where the chess with the iBuyer platforms. Because the iBuyer platforms, if you take Zillow, for example, they have 12 years of data. They know that the person who called John yesterday from England went on Zillow to see how much his house was worth, so that when he talked to John, he already knew what he felt his house was worth. And why should he use John, right? You have to be in front of these people because Zillow has 12 years of data and 86 million hits a day on their Zillow site. So they know who is doing what, who is looking to see the value, and then who is looking in what area to buy a home. And when you have that kind of data, that's what we have to compete with. And that's what I try to teach. You have to give value when you're in front of people and not just sell. And once you start giving value and they start seeing you all the time, Taylor, okay, they don't, let's say they don't spend any money on advertising or spent 10, 20 years developing their brand like you did. So they have it in front of them with the iBuyer program, iBuyer platforms. And that I teach them like I did at our last event. Start doing short videos, start giving value and about rent versus buy, and what is the advantage. Start talking about, what the new subdivisions are and what they're offering. Start talking about, because sometimes I don't think the real estate agents realize how much they really know about what they're doing. And they don't realize that the public needs to hear them and be in front of them. Like Aaron, you have been in front of people for years, just not on social media, but it's like things have shifted. Technology now is in front of them because of the phone, the biggest distribution. This is it. It's free. It's the distribution device. And there are times it's not on TV anymore like it used to be. So agents have to embrace the fact that they have to start people with value. And then once they get that person, then that's where you come in to teach them how to give the value the right way and the best way, and so that they don't have to reduce their commissions because they do have value.
And Max, we have so me and Ruth have an event coming up is it May 1st?
First? I think so, yeah.
May 1st at Sierra Gold. I guess people can go to Eventbrite, right? And pull it up. Mm-hmm. May 1st at Sierra Gold. And we always serve breakfast. But we go over a lot of these systems that we have in place that's worked. And, I was thinking the other day too, it's like, wow, what point of my career I'm going to ask my own self this question, okay? You should be at what point in your career did you realize that you do things right and you can teach people how to put these systems in place? It's weird. I don't know when it happened. Was it after 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? When was it? But like Ruth, like the 5 steps of the way I answer a phone, or how I take listings. Have you ever heard of that ever before in your life?
No.
They're odd, right? I mean, it's just odd. Or how I do our client parties, step by step. It's just things that we've done that worked. And
Yeah, you produce a lot of results, Aaron. You know, when you sell 300 plus, do 300 plus transactions in a single year, I think what you're doing works, right? So I think results have spoken for themselves with you, and you've reached the 10,000 hour mark. I mean, you've been doing real estate now for how many years now? 15, 16, 17? 100 years.
Like 100. We had an agent. So before we start our event, I get everybody to stand up, introduce themselves. And then Ruth gets them on their phone and we do a Facebook Live, everybody in the room. And it's just to make them feel a little less uncomfortable in what they're doing, right?
Right.
So we get it, and I figure, and me and Ruth feel that they do it together, right? It's power is with numbers. So they feel better. Right. Okay, everybody's doing it. I'm going to do it. Everybody's walking around the room. And so the success stories that I hear after our events from the agents are remarkable. Mm. I mean, I had one of our agents, Giacomo, call me the other day, and he goes, Aaron, I just want to let you know that you and Ruth's events are amazing. He goes, I started doing videos now on Instagram and Facebook. His name is Giacomo Zarconi. I'm trying to get him to brand the Italian Stallion Realtor, but I think Marco's going to take it.
Marco's going to do that.
Hey, how you doing? If you want to sell your house, give me a call. You know, it'd be great, right? It's good branding. And but he called me. He got a listing from his videos. He got a buyer that he has an escrow from his videos, and it's just him breaking out, doing some things that are uncomfortable. And so those are one of many stories. I think me and Ruth are now going to have these people get on stage and say, hey, we're doing what they're teaching us, and this is the result we're getting.
Yeah, exactly right.
So Aaron, you are the teaches people how to give value and get the deal. I'm the one that teaches them how to get the client. And then both of us together, how to follow up and keep those clients for life. And that's it. That's real estate in a nutshell.
That's sales in a nutshell, right? Like you sell anything, getting attention, right? Providing value, following up right. And then continuously following up and staying in, and then building deeper relationships. One thing I wanted to say about, to get back to value is price is only a concern when people question if there's value, right? Price is only a concern if people question if there's value. The exchange of what they're going to give versus what they're going to get, they want to make sure that they come out ahead. So Aaron, what you've done over the years now and through your process and demonstration is that there's no question that there's more value in hiring you as their agent than what they're going to be paying. So I mean, that's really, I mean, to your point, part of it comes from, being knowledgeable. And then to Ruth's point, that I think you can leverage technology to provide value ahead of time, right? Through the processes of educating people, in articulating in a simple manner what a real estate transaction really is and what it entails, right? I'd need to do a little bit more digging and researching, but I haven't seen any real estate agent out there that really has explained the entire real estate process, right? In something that is entertaining, that is engaging, that, answers all the typical questions a person that's listing a house would ask, or a person buying a house that would ask, and do it really well in a short video. People, we're in the industry, so we know what happens and we know the things that happen, but regular old people, they don't know. And there's a great, I forgot the name of the advertising book, but it's like a 70-year-old advertising book. And he said one of the best ads someone ever did was explaining how they made this certain widget. Like really walking in the ad itself was like walking people through how it was produced in a machine and what happens during that machine process. And people were like, wow, this is interesting. And they end up buying that product versus the other person's product who was exactly the same and for a higher value. So it's just about articulating that value. And if more real estate agents, really kind of understood that, and the reason why they falter, every objection that we ever come about in sales is there's a part of us that believes in that objection. So if you're encountering the price objection all the time, that means there's a part of you in your mind that says like, I don't know if I am. Exactly right, Aaron. I don't know if I'm worth that or not.
Yeah. I just wrote something down. for agents, they should understand this. I put value is shown when the client realizes you're placing their needs before yours. That's the first step. When you create that bond and relationship with them, that's why I tell them that, when I list the property, the first step is I bring them the pie. That just shows that I don't want to come over to their house empty-handed, right? And there's a whole story behind the pie. But the second part, and I tell the client up front what we're doing, right? The steps. But the second part is touring their house. Whether it changes my opinion on the value or not, it tours the house. And agents go, well, how long should that last? And I'm like, as long as it takes, because that's the dance. That's the relationship. That's the bonding. So as you're dancing with them through the house, looking at the pictures, creating that's when the value is starting to be in place. And when the client realizes that their interest is before yours, then you have them. Then it's over. And it just happened the other day. A good friend of mine, Ron, who I'm going to see tonight, he's been a friend of mine 20-something years. Sold him his house, his mom, his brothers, his sister, the whole 9 yards. His wife's mom passed away about several months ago. So the house is going through a probate stage right now. And one of the kids are the executor. Well, the kids don't know me as well as they do. And so they're going to hire me to list the property. Well, they want me to list it at $425. The house isn't worth $360, $350 or $360. One of the major reasons, and folks, if you're listening to this, I don't like selling people homes that back up to major streets. I just don't like that. They may be okay with it, but the majority of people won't, right? This home backs up to Fort Apache and another major street, low wall. There's the street light right there. You put that house across the street, it's worth $380, $390. Where it's at, ain't good. It's not going to happen. One of those companies offered him $380,000 for the house. I said, take it. He looked at me. What do you mean take it? Yeah, take it. If they're going to give you $380 for that house, take it. He goes, but then you don't make any money. So what? Take it. They just couldn't understand this. They go, well, what's the catch? What's going on? What do you mean take it? His brother is saying this. Ron knows me. I'm saying if they're going to give you $380 for this house, just please be careful at the end. They don't ding you for $30,000 in repairs at the end. If they're going to give you $380 for that house, I would run. Oh, and by the way, and pay them full commission and pay them everything. Take the $380. That's doing what's best for your client. Sometimes there's a need to send them somewhere else because it's what's best for them. Because I know if I list that property, they're not going to get more than $350, $360. And then they're going to net about $330.
Right.
The value.
Yeah, exactly right. Now that's powerful. I mean, if it benefits them to do something else that doesn't, and necessarily generate a commission, right? I mean, I call that planting like a karmic equity, right? In this pool of karmic equity, right? And the bigger that pool gets, life has a funny way of rewarding you on the backside of that. So great stuff.
Always do the right thing.
Right.
Always. That's the way I live my life. I always do the right thing.
Another client of mine, I got thousands of stories, but this guy named Bill. This is just recent. We listed his house at $440. Bill's a great guy from New York, just a super guy. He's one of those guys when you get you on the phone, he's going to talk to you for like 30 minutes. And he'll repeat the same thing like 10 times. You know what I mean? Like, Bill, you could just tell me once. I get it. But he'll go over and go over and then go over. So he wanted $440 for his house. I said, Bill, your house isn't worth but $400. It's just not. And so I appeased them. I've known him for a long time, and we did the process. The value part is when I said we finally got an offer on his property. It was listed 9 months. People go, why is the house listed 9 months? You never dropped it. It's Bill. I said, Bill, I'll list it for free for you. Don't pay me. What's best for you is to sell your house and move to Florida because you own a home there, and that's what's best for you. We won't take any money at all. He goes, really, Aaron? I'm like, yep, I'll do it for free. But what's best for you? Sign the offer, the whole 9 yards. He calls me over. He goes, man, you ain't doing this for free. We're paying you. What's the matter with you? But he knew that I really would have. I would have done it. And that decision for him to sell it at 4 was best for him because it really isn't worth more than 4. It's just not. And I think as an agent, you owe it. Sometimes you owe it. If you're a good agent, you could convince people to do the right thing. And the only way to convince them is they have to see value in you and you have to know your job. But part of our job is convincing people to do sometimes what they don't want, but it's best for them. That's best for Bill. Right, it is because that house ain't worth over 4.
Right.
So.
And that's something they'll never get from any of these online platforms, right? The expertise and the individual decision making that you made there because of your knowledge of the marketplace. They're not going to get no technology will ever replace what you just said and what you did right there.
Yeah, our sellers always get texts. They say, "Aaron, look at this. They offered me $430,000 for my house," and I say, "Take it. See what happens." I got the same text. Look. That shows you they don't know what they're doing because, come on, I'm the real estate guy. Why are you sending me this? You don't care about me. You just got my number wherever, right?
Right. Oh, fantastic. So, I mean, go ahead, Ruth.
No, go ahead. You're following him. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask him another. What was that, Aaron?
So
I want to hear the monkey talk behind Ruth.
Oh, that's my Golden Knights guy.
I love him. Where's the baby? Where's the doggy?
Oh, here she comes.
So cute. Let me see her. I want to see her. Oh, my God.
Hold on.
I love dogs.
Come here, baby. Come here, baby.
Max, did you see the little baby?
I've seen it. Yeah, she's been on the show 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
She came on the show.
Oh, she is just such a pistol now. She's running and look at that.
She's completely adorable.
She is. Look at that. Wait a minute.
We're showing dogs on the show.
See the babies, right? Oh, come here. Give me attention. Look at this one. Look at that one, huh?
It's a doggy show.
Yep, it's turned into a doggy show now.
Here's the other one. Look at me. Here, come here. Let's look at it. Come here. Look at that face. Look at him. And there's the fat boy. Yeah. We love our dogs, don't we, John?
Hello.
Hi, John.
Oh, look at that.
Shows went to the dogs, huh?
Show went to the dogs today.
Yeah, this is like run on my face, and I'm allergic to dogs, and I'm like,
Okay,
oh
we
my
gotta
God.
go. We have work to do. And the kids.
Oh, look at that.
Big floppy
Don't
kiss
leave
about it, huh?
Don't leave without me.
I'm not leaving.
Okay.
Okay.
So Aaron, let me ask you. I mean, obviously, you're well aware of the whole iBuyer platforms coming in and their whole process and stuff like that. You know, what are you strategically thinking about and planning? You know, for your own business in anticipation of maybe, competing with these iBuyer platforms. And are you looking to change your strategy at all in any of your branding or marketing or the way you even approach clients?
Well, it's probably due more. We change constantly, right? We always meet, we get together, we change, we try different things because our market's ever changing. So we have to. But we're going to do a lot more of the same that I've always done. And what that is, and which we're getting better at, do you know, I did all this business and I never had a CRM system. I never did. Ruth laughed at it. I think she laughed at me. I used this thing called Top Producer, and I just had people in there. And I separated people by, who gave me business. I treated them a little special, right? The ones who refer me, the people we sold. And then I would do, parties. And I do a lot of things, but I never really had a CRM system that would gather people and keep in contact with them kind of automatically. I always thought it was lazy. I don't think it's lazy anymore. I just think it's another tool that you have to have. And so we use it. So what we do, and again, this is why I think we've been so successful over the years. And if you're a new agent starting out or a young agent, this is the most valuable tool that I can give you in your business. And it's hard because people don't understand it because it's a marathon, not a sprint. You have to acquire people during the course of your career. You have to, like, right away. You
Hey,
have
Aaron, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Is your dog panting in the background?
Oh, hi, baby. Are you okay? Go on. Are you okay? Yeah, that's
I didn't know what that.
that's my older one.
All right.
He's 15 years old, and he's just old man hacks, like
Got it. Okay.
that's all it is.
Yeah. So you're saying new agents acquiring clients.
Yeah, you have to acquire people and show them your value and add them to your CRM. And so when we do open houses, and we've done this for years, is that we meet people, we show them our value. We ask them if they know a real estate agent that they would use or refer business to. And if they say no, we want to be that person. We want to be that agent. And then we acquire them, and then we add more people. So our goals are not necessarily how many homes we're going to buy or sell. Our goals are how many people have we acquired and placed in our database today. Mm-hmm. So if an agent starting out goes, okay, I'll write down everybody I know. And then my goal every day, the small tasks are, I'm going to add 5 people a day to my database. If that's all they did, the other things would come from it, right? It's like if all I did all day did squats, that's all I did because I want to run faster, right? So I'm going to do squats every day. I'm going to do 100 of them. After a month, I'm going to run faster because it's building up my legs. It's building up my core. So acquiring people and adding them to your database is the same thing. Add people to your database, show value. The business will come. It just does. So we're going to do more of the same thing. And when you do that, you kind of build those relationships, and those other companies don't matter as much because you show more value. You're the person to go to, not those other companies.
And there's so many tips and tricks that we're going to teach agents in the next couple years, and we're so excited about getting our training center open. Oh Lord!
Yeah, sorry.
Aaron, did you hear what I said?
Yes, I did. I'm so excited about getting our training center. We're going to make it a gym too. We should start doing workouts.
That's okay with me. As long as we have a shower, I'm good.
Yeah, but our training center. So I think, let's see, 048 Realty is going to be over there in a couple months. There's been some changes with that are really exciting. John's the new broker. Yes. Spencer moved on to EXP, being the broker, which is great. Me and Ruth are with EXP. Matt, if you would have said 10 years ago that there would even be something like this, you would think, what are you talking about? Right? And we're doing it. So the training center is going to be open. And I don't know about Ruth, but I think we like just helping anybody. We don't care if you're with 048 Realty or EXP. When we have training, just come over and learn. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah, well, I teach in social media. I teach every brokerage in town. I just want people to be successful and to be able to survive in the next decade. That's my goal, my passion.
And the more people in the industry that are knowledgeable, are professional and represent the industry in a good light, everybody wins from that, right? And everybody wins. And it's easier to win when people around you are winning, right? And professional.
And we want winners with us. We like winners.
Yes.
we love positive people that don't complain, people that aren't victims, people that the cup's always full, not empty. I love those type of people because it's all about, it's this right here. Life is beautiful.
That's right. It's more commitments and actions than excuses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's 13,000 agents in Vegas, and let's see, 2,200 of them made a sale in January.
Wow.
Yeah, that's all. So, there's a small percentage of the market that embrace what Aaron and I are going to do, but there's enough of them that we can hopefully hopefully increase their business. And for the people that don't know how to do it, we're going to show them how to do it. You know, like I said earlier, there's 3 basic steps. And then as you said, Max, it's sales, right? There's 3 basic steps. We're excited about being able to provide that facility right on Sahara and open up for everybody to come and learn and increase their business. Because 2,200 agents doing a deal in January, to me, is pretty sad.
Pretty low.
Out of 13,000 agents.
Right. Yeah, I think the number one thing, if everybody, for people watching this show and for people rewatching this show, is that acquire people into your database. Focus on that. 5 new people a day, right? Because we always tend to like rate ourselves towards the transaction process of it, right? If I can, sell 1 home or 2 homes or 3 homes, but that is like 30 steps into the process.
Yeah.
But the most simple step is
fixated on the result.
Correct.
Not the task to get there.
Exactly right. And what you just said today is like focus on the simple task of just acquiring 5 relationships into your database.
And it's a marathon, not a sprint. We say that so much. We repeat it. You want to lose 10 pounds. It's not going to happen overnight. No. It requires work and it takes patience. And that's one of the things I try to teach people, how to work smart in this social media technical world, and then how to have patience along the way. And what's so funny, Aaron?
Is that John in the background? I thought I heard someone go, "Oh shit!"
Well, probably be bitten because
nice.
she. Well,
so we're about to wrap up here. Remind everybody about the event. What's the event? When? What time? And where?
So it's May 1st at Sierra Gold at 9 a.m. Should show up about 8:30, 8:45. We provide breakfast, and we talk about the real estate industry as a whole. Ruth gives a presentation on social media. We talk about, I think that day we're going to talk about 6 steps on how to build your business. We give some good tools, some good systems. And the goal is, and everybody knows this, the goal is we want you on our team. So there's the goal. We're not trying to bait and switch you here. No, we want you to go to the event to learn, but at the end, we want you on our team in one form or another. And we want to make you successful and help you be successful. Sure. So go to Sierra Gold, May 1st, 9 o'clock. Go to Eventbrite. You can register for the event. It's free. And right, Ruth, anything else you want to add to that event?
No, it's just going to be really exciting, and we're starting to get some people that knows about the success they're getting from we've just been doing this since November, and we've got people that are doing business and getting success. So that's what we're doing it for. Right. About that part of it this time.
Yeah.
Is there only one Sierra Gold? Is there the one on? Is it the one on 215?
It's 215 in Jones in the Southwest.
Jones, right? Okay. The really nice one. It's a great place.
Yeah. It's upstairs, they have a great facility up there.
Oh, fantastic. All right. So Ruth, when's the next social media class?
Social media class is, let's see, where is it? There we go. May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And just call 702-990-0480 and sign up, or go to agentformula.com and click on the training tab and register. Right. So we're going to be having media and going over all the things that we've gone over in LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. We even now have added doing live video, and we give people scripts. So it's the way the 12 hours is turning into success for people. And it sounds like a long time, but it really goes quickly. And everybody always says it wasn't enough time. So that's so anyway, don't miss out. Social media continues to change. So please call Siri at 990-0480 and sign up.
All right. So Aaron, any last words for us today? Final thought.
Well, I just wrote brand down and value. So, create your brand. And when I started off with my brand, I wasn't doing it really the brand and the advertising was to show the people that were acquired that I was successful. That was the purpose of it back then. So create a brand, stick with it, own it. When you create that brand, own it. It should be what comes out of your mouth. Everything you say, everybody you talk to, you need to own. I am the real estate guy. And you can see when I say that, I own that. That's me when I answer my phone. So create that brand, own it. Don't worry about the results. It takes time. A good result would be if you're going to brand yourself as the Italian Stallion real estate agent, a good result would be in a week, someone goes, hey, Italian Stallion real estate agent or whatever. It takes time, but own it. And then acquire people, of course. So there you go. Have a wonderful week, everybody. And I'm going to go to
a great show. I'll be listening to your radio show, Aaron.
Cool.
And
Call in. Say hi.
So where do they dial into?
702-733-5968. 702-733-KXNT. It's every Saturday from 11 to 1, called Real Estate Live. And me and Dustin talk about the real estate market, talk about what's going on in Vegas, and we make you laugh a little bit along the way, too.
Right.
And that's 8:40
8:40
a.m.
8:40 a.m. KXNT. For you millennials, okay, one more thing I got to say something was funny. The last time I did the show, I did it by myself, and I made fun of millennials, and it didn't matter because they don't listen to the show anyway. So at the end, I apologized. But millennials don't listen to AM radio, or maybe it might be a new trend, right? What do you think? Did they get happen?
No, AM radio. No, I think you have to. I think you have to be over 50.
You do. They're starting to play records, though. My daughter has a turntable and she's playing albums. So that came back. You never know.
That came back, unless AM radio stations are on the iPhone now in an app. I don't think people are going to be turning into AM radio.
Well, you have an app, right? There is an app.
Yeah, there is an app.
Oh, I mean, that's where you should point people.
I'm over 50. Don't ask me how to get Ruth can help me with that one.
I'll help you so you can tell everybody to do that.
Yeah, go to the app, listen to the show. Yeah, there is one. Okay.
We'll mention that next time when Aaron Taylor's on the show. So,
hey, thanks for having me. You guys are awesome. Great day, huh?
Yeah. Great for being on. Have a great week, everybody.
All right.